Hey everybody, welcome into Northern Life. Thanks for being with us here on this Thursday. No Hunter McCullough today. That's because he is out teaching some kids in the Northland. Yeah.
I think Hunter would be a great teacher.
Oh, he'd be the best teacher.
He's got the best energy for that. I'm sure the kids are thrilled to see a local celebrity come in, teach them a thing or two about meteorology.
You know, there's always those cool weather things involved, those little activities that they do, those experiments. So they should be having a fun day together.
Yeah, it sounded like they were going to make a cloud.
Yeah, I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah, he might have to show us these experiments.
That'd be fun.
Well, let's start things off today with a few fun photos from our Northern Life community out there. Dave in Port Wing sent us this photo saying he tried throwing some water in the air when it was 29 below, adding that it was pretty cool how it evaporated so quickly. And he also said, love your guys' show.
Thanks,
you so
Dave.
much, Dave. Yeah,
Dave,
so nice.
He's doing his own experiments out there. Outside the classroom. And thankfully, it has gotten a lot warmer this week. Thank goodness for that. But Annette in Nashwauk sent us a message earlier in the week on our text line saying, hello, Ryan, Hunter, and Briggs. We love your show. This has been the vibe since Saturday. Our two German Shepherds have been patiently waiting for warmer weather. And hopefully, you know, they're happier now, Annette. You know, that things have warmed up slightly.
Oh, they look pretty pleased to be on that couch.
Yeah, that's where I want to be. Looks like a good day.
Oh, same. How cute is that? Well, we are all happy to see a little more snow and better temperatures. Even though we're used to it, though, it's a rare sight in the south. After a once-in-a-generation type snowstorm, a man was seen skiing down Bourbon Street in New Orleans. That's in their historic French Quarter there. He's just chugging along. This guy looks like he's been skiing his whole life. Probably it could be his first time.
He's got the colors on too. He's ready to go. But like you said, once in a generation type snowstorm. Although hopefully a lot of people, if you know somebody down there who's dealing with some snow, hopefully they're doing all right. But you know, it's finding a little fun too for maybe some folks who have moved to the south after living in the north.
Right. Can you imagine if you had booked a trip down there, like you're from Minnesota or something, and then you were like, I'm going to go to, you know, Florida, Louisiana, maybe escape the cold, and then you bring it with you.
You run right into it. Yeah, that would that'd be a little disappointing.
There was some really cute video too of little kids, you know, experiencing snow for the first time. It's like they didn't even know what to do with the snow.
Yeah, it's like, how do you drive? You know, most people driving too. Never driven in snow before. It's an exciting time for our Northern News Now team, especially as we get to watch Briggs, your son Wells, grow up, just super cute, get older. It is the same watching Chief Meteorologist Adam Lorch's daughter, Abby. He posted this photo on his Facebook the other day. He had to stay home due to the cold, you know, watching the little one. As her daycare was closed due to the temperatures. But we've already talked about this before, but it's so fun, like Briggs knowing you, and then now you becoming a mother, and you know, same thing with Adam too. You know, way back in the day, he was we worked together on the morning show, and he already seemed like a dad to me in a way. You know, teaching us how to change oil and everything.
True.
All the life lessons, and now
cook a turkey, smoke one.
Yeah, cooking the turkey, but now actually getting to see him become a father too is really special.
Yeah, it has been great, and it's so fun for me too. Because Abby is just a few months older than Wells. So Adam and I have gotten to share some stories about how things are going so far. So I can see, you know, what's in my future by watching him with Abby. So I've learned a lot from the Lorches already, which has been super fun. And what a blessing in disguise kind of those snow days can be for, you know, parents. It might be tough. I'm sure it is very tough, you know, to scramble with the last minute plans. But what a joy to be able to spend that, you know, random day with your kid and get to play with them like that. So hopefully parents out there weren't stretched too thin by the snow day and could appreciate a little extra time.
Hopefully not.
With
Look like some special days there.
Yeah, awesome. Well, here's what's coming on later on today's show. It's part 2 of Ryan and Hunter's time at Insight Counseling in Duluth. They're getting more advice on how to help ease your anxiety, along with other helpful steps to jumpstart your therapy journey.
And later, a lodge on the Gunflint Trail is getting ready to celebrate 100 years of amazing memories in the north. And you got a chance to see some action-packed fun from Red Bull. It's coming to Michigan's UP. But first, Briggs, people looking to save money rather in the new year, likely maybe accomplish a few financial resolutions that they have. And people are coming up with a thing called a no-buy list for 2025. So maybe things you used to love buying, but know it's hurting your wallet, you're sticking away from that. One creator online says creating that boundary helped them pay off $34,000 in debt. So are you adding anything to your no-buy list for this year?
I should be adding a lot to my no-buy list. I mean, this has kind of been a rule for me lately. Is just, you know, don't go out and buy the expensive coffees
so
much because that can be, especially if there's a drive-through involved, it's very easy for me to not even realize I'm turning in. I'm like, oh, did I just end up in that coffee drive-through line? Oh gosh.
How did that happen?
Shame. Yeah. I would say expensive coffee is probably at the top of my list, and I just limiting the eating out, buying food to cook at home, I think could save me a lot of money.
Yeah, I actually bought a coffee pot the other week in order to save money.
You didn't have, this is your first?
Well, I've had one before, but I had a Keurig recently.
Oh, sure.
So even the Keurig, sometimes you have so many of those, but getting a coffee pot was super helpful. I think subscription services is a big one.
Which ones are you
well, I've kept Peacock, so thanks for watching us on NBC. But, Peacock's got a lot of good shows. Discover, whichever one that is. Paramount Plus are also good, but limiting the other ones, trying to save a little money there.
Yeah, it's tough when they have all the sporting events on different platforms, and then I heard Netflix is raising prices too. So it's tough. It's tough out there.
It is tough out there, especially if a friend or somebody you respect their opinion on shows, they say you got to watch it on this platform, and you go, hopefully they got a free trial.
Yeah, I think some of those too you could get for a month, and then you can cancel it without too many repercussions. So. If you want to watch, Love is Blind on Netflix, one of my favorite shows on the streaming services I know. So I know a new season's coming out in February, specifically in Minneapolis. So I could get Netflix specifically for that and maybe just, cancel it when I'm done.
If anything, too, as soon as you buy it, set yourself a reminder to say, okay, in 2 weeks here, remember to cancel it. So that way you just pay for the 1 month.
That was my problem because I got Amazon Prime for Christmas when I ordered a few things, and you just reminded me now I haven't canceled it.
Well, hopefully you're getting the most out of your money out there. But hey, coming up after the break, we get to bring you part 2 of our wonderful conversation with Insight Counseling Duluth. It was a fantastic chat. Excited to share the second half of it when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. A week ago, we got to share our incredibly informative and enlightening conversation with Insight Counseling Duluth, talking about how you can start going to therapy.
Yeah, today Ryan and Hunter are back with our final part of that chat, learning how to identify anxiety and other mental health issues.
What do you see maybe right now around the holiday season, or maybe just in general with the clients you have when it comes to anxiety in young adults?
Life is stressful enough, right, on just an everyday basis, and then we layer on holidays and expectations, and a lot of it, I don't have my phone here, but the social media aspect of it is, that age group tends to be more, not all, but a lot of times more involved. Of living life on social media, and it's just really hard. There's a lot of FOMO, there's a lot of expectations. Back in the day, right, it was family culture and things like that were more influential, and now it's a bigger space, which has so many benefits. Social media does, but some of the drawbacks are some of that comparison, and that's a tough space to be in.
Is there such thing as a healthy level of anxiety?
There's a right amount of anxiety. If I didn't have the right amount of anxiety, I wouldn't have shown up for work today. You guys wouldn't have shown up in our office.
That's true.
Right? You're like, okay, we got to get going. So when anxiety starts to be life interfering, when it starts to stop you from living and enjoying your life on a day-to-day basis, then it's usually a time to go in and talk to someone to figure out some tools to use.
I'd like to touch a little bit on depression and grief going into the new year, specifically surrounding the loss of a loved one or something along those lines.
Michael's mother just died a couple months ago. And I think finding safe, beautiful spaces to be able to be with that grief and have it validated, with a close person, whether it's a therapist or just, another family member or friend. But some people be like, oh, that was 10 years ago, whether it was 2 months ago or 2 or 20 years ago, when a wave of grief hits, it's very real, and so it needs to be validated.
Is we have a lot of expectancies around the holidays, and so I know with my mom, watch for the cues, because they'll come up, but somebody brought Spritz cookies here to work, and my mom used to make Spritz cookies all the time, and I had just this immediate response to that. And sometimes if you're not aware, why am I feeling this way? But it's it's the Spritz cookies, and that's what my mom would make me when I was a little kid. So
it's okay to let that wave crash and let a wave come over you, and it's okay. It's expected. Of course, two of my favorite words in therapy are, of course. Validate the heck out of things, right? Of course you're feeling this. Of course you're sad. And then I think another misnomer for grief, going back to grief in the holidays, is that, well, it's been a year, so this should be easier. I should be over it. I should be able to put the Christmas tree back up because it's the second year, and the first year we were sad, and now, well, says who? A year is a passage of time, but it's certainly not the end. And sometimes for some people it can be just the beginning, because we're in such a space that first year of like, oh my gosh, this is the first, and you're thinking that in the second year you almost start to relax a little bit, and you let those boundaries come out a little bit, and you're open to a few more things, and then those waves come, and then they're unexpected because you kept things pretty safe for that first year, and then that second year you start to relax, and then that's sometimes, again, not to put that in people's minds, but sometimes that is harder, and that's to be expected.
Are there any immediate quick tools you think the average person out there could benefit from that you use here? I think one thing that Zach says to me a lot is, what do you want, what do you need, and what do you deserve? I think those,
That's a good one.
when I'm angry or upset during the day, or I feel like I need something, then I walk through that checklist and I go, okay, I'm gonna be okay.
I just think so, being able to intentionally just take a breath, and doesn't have to be like a fancy one that we're counting, just to really sit with and to carve that out intentionally, because it's so easy to be bombarded left and right. But I do think some more quiet, just time is important.
What are maybe the main themes or concerns you see for Gen Z compared to millennials, compared to Gen X or baby boomers?
Good question.
I was like,
A
lot of things.
Yes.
Not to throw COVID under the bus, but a lot of college kids right now are having a lot of hard time with anxiety and social anxiety. And I say, ask them what was going on when COVID hit. What was going on in their family? Did they have a family that worked in the healthcare system and they were like, that was it? They were locked down. They could not see anyone for 6 months. Were they in a laissez-faire family? Oh, COVID doesn't exist. It's not real. Go out and do whatever you want. The unintentional consequences of some of these lockdowns were seen in certain age groups.
I'm just so grateful that we're seeing all the generations. I mean, I had a older adult couple, once, and they presented because their adult children said they weren't going to be coming home for the holidays anymore if they didn't get some counseling. But I mean, how many times, right? I mean, how many times I hear older adults say, wow, do I wish that I would have accessed something like this in my 20s or, in my 30s even. So I just thank you for having these conversations, because it is so important.
The conversation was really important. I mean, therapy has done well for me, and hopefully, us showing this to you will do well for you out there. Yeah, we're going to put a bow on our conversation when we come back here on Northern Live. Welcome back, everybody. A big thanks to Insight Counseling Duluth again for that two-part conversation we've had over this past week. Yeah. It was a wonderful chat. It's also nice to just know or hear somebody say, like, it's okay, you're okay. Life is very tough. Life gets very difficult at times. So hearing from someone that, like, you're not the only one going through this thing, it's very calming, to say the least.
I'm really glad you guys went and did this story, because obviously I wasn't there, but I felt like I was there, and I felt like I learned, so much from that awesome panel that you guys spoke with. They were super well versed in so many of your questions, which is great. I loved what Mary said about feeling like you should be ready maybe to move on after grief, or you should be ready to do this or that in really any aspect of your life. And I feel that in a real way, and just all the time, but especially, in the postpartum days after Wells, I was like, I should be ready to go out and do this or that, and you know, like she said, says who? Like, you know, it's
Who's
your own journey.
on?
Yeah, it's your own journey that you need to follow, and so that, you know, I really connected with and thought that was a really good message from her.
Yeah. Our minds are beautiful things, but at the same time, they can be our own worst enemy.
So true.
Yeah,
so true.
If you'd like to start the therapy journey for yourself, Insight Counseling Duluth is happy to help. You can find their info at insightcounselingduluth.com. They got locations in downtown Duluth. They got an office in Virginia, Minnesota, and you can also find them down in the Twin Cities. Like I said, I'm very happy I started my therapy journey, and I'm hoping you can find joy in learning more about yourself as well.
Yeah, how cool is that? Well, great conversation. I'm sure we'll have it on our website as well coming up soon. Well, hey, up the North Shore, how about this? Gunflint Lodge and Outfitters is getting ready to celebrate 100 years.
Yeah, how about
along
that?
with the grand opening of their new Northern Lights Lodge. Yeah, a round of applause. Woo! You were so right, Ryan, for that. The festivities will take place on January 31st at 4 p.m. Founded by Russell and Dora Blankenberg as a seasonal fishing camp back in 1925, Gunflint Lodge has been a cherished destination for outdoor enthusiasts, adventurers, and those who are just seeking the tranquility of the North Woods. Wow, I always love, you know, seeing super historical places like that still standing and thriving at 100 years old. What a cool thing.
I got to go on the Gunflint Trail for the very first time last summer when I went to the Boundary Waters with my friends. And I got to say, when I heard it, I always kept hearing about the Gunflint Trail. You're going to go on the Gunflint Trail. I thought it was going to be a dirt road in the woods, but it is a very lovely road if you haven't been, and you need to go, because as soon as you just get on the trail, you feel like you're in a different world completely.
I went on the Gunflint for the first time when I was covering the Bear Grylls Sled Dog Marathon. And the photographer who was with me, Lucas, was like, yeah, I definitely thought this was like a literal trail. Yeah, but it's paved. It is beautiful.
It is a beautiful road.
And I loved it. It was so long, too, obviously. But yeah, really cool experience.
Beautiful scenery. Yeah, if you want to get away, go up there. You're going to have a great time. Well, if you have plans to travel deep into Michigan's UP this winter, you may want to head to Houghton. That's because heart-thumping adrenaline is coming to town thanks to Red Bull. They're going to be hosting a pro snowboard competition in their city. Jibba Jabba takes place on February 15th. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. 35 men and women will be setting themselves down the snowy trenches, popping tricks, catching some serious air, shredding the gnar, I think some kids say. That might be the guitar, but might be snowboarding too. And the best part, no tickets are required for Houghton's event.
Really?
Yeah, how about that?
That's really cool.
Maybe make some Valentine's Day plans out in Houghton. You can catch some Red Bull action while you're at it.
Yeah, they've got a lot of snow out that way, I believe. Very cool.
It's also 2 hours, I think, away from Ironwood, so Ironwood fans.
We love Ironwood.
Yeah, get out there.
Sure
Have a good time.
We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, everybody. When we see you again tomorrow, a Wisconsin family had an unlikely encounter that they're not going to forget about anytime soon. They went above and beyond to save a deer on the Mississippi River. So we're going to bring you their story tomorrow right here on Northern Life. This is the first time I was seeing that video, and it looks incredible. I can't wait to see this story.
The people who go out on the ice, in my mind, you know, that's something in and of itself. But, you know, rescuing a deer on the ice, you're a pretty awesome human if you get out there like that. Yeah. Well, hey, until we see you tomorrow, and before we go today, how about another deer? This one in the state of Minnesota. We got Greg and Jesse in Aurora who sent us this photo, saying they took this from under their bird feeder. Look at the furry coat on that deer.
Oh, this is a fluffy boy.
That deer is staying warm. Almost kind of looks like a sheep in a way.
Oh my gosh, it's basically Harry out there. Just a brown version of my dog Harry.
I think Harry and that deer would be good friends. And why not end things too on a beautiful note with a set of drone shots over one of our Great Lakes. It's not Superior, it's the waters of Lake Michigan. As you can see, the ice surrounding the Michigan City East Pierhead Lighthouse, captured here from high above. And this week's Cold we saw provided some amazing images.
Yeah, nothing cooler than those ice shoves, I think they're called, or like the pancake ice.
Cool indeed.
Drones are pretty cool.
Cool indeed. Thanks for joining us. We love you.
And we'll see you right here tomorrow.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.